Occurred, February 14, 1999. 24 Location, Indianapolis, Indiana. Shape, teardrop. Characteristics: there were lights on the object. There was an aura or haze around the object. The object made a sound. Low flying object about 5 feet away. It was a dark but clear night. I was downstairs with my dad and mom when we heard a strange vibrating noise, not very loud but loud enough to scare my dog. He ran in and hid under the couch for some time. We all went outside and saw a large flying object flying only about 30 feet up in the air and about 5 feet away. We watched it for a few seconds and went back inside. We didn't talk about it again until now.
Occurred, April 14, 1996. 30 Location, Indianapolis, Indiana. Shape, circle. Duration, 15. Min. Characteristics: there were aircraft in the vicinity or aircraft chasing the object. IAMFOURTY 7. But was in my mid-30s at the time. My girlfriend and myself got up early one spring morning to enjoy the new day. She was watching the birds fly at a distance and COMENTED for me to look also. As I began to look, I saw what looked like an object changing form as it moved. As it got closer to us coming from east to west, I could see it was round or circular in shape. This object scared me because it was only 150 feet or lower from the ground. It was jet black and 3 antennae coming out from its shape at different angles. One at the top and the 2 others from the left and right sides of the lower bottom. The UFO would only move when the antennae were outstretched, and stop when retracted. No sound, no contrails, just moving slowly and bouncing up and down slowly as though it was having problems maintain altitude. I did see a commercial plane at a distance, but this object was not concerned. It stopped just in front of our easy view as though it could see us watching, then slowly moved on. I hate that I had no camera. It would have been an end to those BLURED UFO pictures people show.
Occurred, April 13, 1993. 22:30 Location, Indianapolis, Indiana. Shape, circle. Duration, 10 to 15 minutes. Characteristics: there were lights on the object. A rotating, soundless object followed me home from Boy Scouts. I am unsure of the exact date, but I know that it was my 4th grade year of school in the spring. I was walking home from Boy Scouts on a Monday night when I saw an object above me. It was about 50 feet over the treetops. For about 3 blocks, the object was slightly behind me. As I turned right onto my street, the object did not follow any longer. No one except for me was on the street. I then ran into my house. Watching TV in my sunroom, I saw it again outside of the windows. Then later, I went upstairs to my room to go to sleep. I felt that something was outside, so I pulled back my curtains. The same object as before was about 50 feet above my neighbor's house across the street. I then remember going to sleep. The next day at school, I asked the class if they had seen anything weird the night before. A couple of people said that they had seen a strange object. These classmates were from my East Side neighborhood.
Occurred, the 1st of July 1994. 9 o'clock Location, Indianapolis, Indiana. Shape, other. Duration, 15 seconds. Characteristics: there were lights on the object. The object changed color. A multicolored possibly 4-sided pyramid seen before I entered 2nd grade. Brother saw same thing years later. My parents still tell a story about how when I was about to start 2nd grade during our family prayers, I jumped up crying and hid in the closet in the room that me and my sister shared. I told them that I was afraid to go to 2nd grade when in fact I was scared of what I had just seen out my window. My bed was right next to a large, nearly full wall window that faced our backyard in the room that I shared with my older sister. My parents sat on the floor and my sister was in her bed and I was in mine. I remember being bored, per usual, and staring out the window when this pyramid, I suppose, floated casually past the window. It wasn't like any of the pyramids I've looked up online. I guess those are like black triangles with lights on their corners? This was covered in little metallic, chrome-ish rectangles that were either silver or lighting up different colors. I remember pinks and yellows and blues, so nearly primary colors, but you could tell they were still metallic silver underneath. It was weird and seemed to lazily float past. It didn't seem to be propelled by anything and didn't seem to be in any sort of hurry. Okay, and I get it. I was little, could have just been my mind messing with me, and I can't remember if it was four-sided. Feel like it was, or three, because I only saw it in profile, and in my memory it looks like it floated right between my house and the gazebo on our deck, which is only about 25 feet or so. So there are clearly some missing pieces. Also, I remember it was completely silent. The thing that has finally brought this up in my mind again after 15 years is that my brother is a sophomore in college now and lives in my house here, and we were talking about random weird stuff that happened in our old house, which was a lot. I don't know if that relates either. When he told me that when he'd been in about second grade, he'd been woken up 2 nights in a row by multicolored lights outside his window on the second story but facing the street, not the yard. He said he didn't see any object making them the first night because it had been so bright, but that the second he'd seen a pyramid-type object. I'd never told anyone about what I'd seen, and neither had he till we had this conversation. Now we just want to know if there's anyone else who possibly has seen something like this, because after looking it up forever and all over the internet I can't find anything.
Occurred, December 15, 1994, 21:30. Location, Indianapolis, Indiana. Shape, triangle. Duration, 30 seconds. Characteristics, there were lights on the object. The object made a sound. Okay. I was in 7th grade when this happened, but interested in UFOs. I was coming out of my middle school after a basketball game. There were a few people around, but I don't think they were paying attention. I looked up in the sky, waiting for my mum to pick me up, and saw 3 sets of points of light. Each set was in a perfect triangle, and then the 3 sets of lights were also in a perfect triangle. The lights were moving at a moderate pace, neither real fast or real slowly. When I got home, I saw something on the news that night about whether there was a UFO or not, but I wasn't allowed to stay up to watch it, so I never found out what it was.
Occurred, May 22, 1998, 14:20. Location, Indianapolis, Indiana. Shape, changing. Duration, 5 minutes. Characteristics, there was an aura or haze around the object. There were aircraft in the vicinity or aircraft chasing the object. I and my framing crew witnessed this together. We are framing a house on the north side of Indy. A lot of air traffic is going on this day, blimps, old planes, etc. I saw a jet and then a strange shape above it. No wings could be seen, but it was moving as fast as the jet in a cross pattern. It then seemed to tumble or twist as it moved, appearing to change shapes. Also a faint circle appeared around it. Everyone there witnessed the same things. It moved northeast as fast as a jet, opposite jet stream. The clouds had just cleared after a brief afternoon shower. Some clouds still remained, but they were more of a high cirrus type. The object was almost black in color, and at first seemed to be a large egg. I grew up around airplanes. My brother was an Air Force pilot, which we would go see often as I was growing up. So I like to think of myself a semi-pro spotter and identifier. Many military planes fly around this area, so I show off and tell people what they are easily. I said, look, there's a stealth. No, what the hell is that? We all saw this shape then tumble or turn so that a single point became clear, then gone. Then it was there, then it moved too fast to be a balloon, and it was heading into the jet stream and the wind. I know what I saw, but I don't know what I saw. This object was unidentifiable to any of us. No one knew exactly what to do or say. The only thing that makes me doubt my sighting is that it never changed course. I wish it did, then I would be sure.
Occurred, July 17, 1998, 7:45. Location, Indianapolis, Carmel. In shape, sphere. Duration, 4 to 5 minutes. Characteristics, there was an aura or haze around the object, saw far away in the sky. Looked like a star, but there were no other stars in the sky. I saw this object in the sky while it was to the west, driving home from dinner at a fast food restaurant. It was on a back road of a residential area. The object was very far away. First, I thought it was a star. Then, I looked for other stars in the sky. There were none. I kept watching for 3 to 5 minutes and wondered what it was, and then I drove by some trees and lost it.